Hey guys, Zach Butler here with ITeachLexus and Peterson Lexus, ready to show you all of your steering wheel controls, your turn signal, headlamps, windshield wipers, and cruise control. Let's check it out. Alright guys, let's talk about your steering wheel controls on your brand new Lexus RX350. So if we start here on the left, we see the plus and minus, which is to turn up the volume and down the volume on your stereo. The mode switch will turn on your stereo, change the mode, meaning your source, FM, AM, satellite radio, Bluetooth, streaming media through your USB, all the different sources that you have, your CD, all can be changed through your mode button by pressing it and letting go. Let's hit this and turn on the stereo. From here it pulls up the stereo. I can turn up my volume. I can change my mode from satellite radio, which is where it's at now, which will always display directly on your screen. I can change it now to portable player, to the AM dial, to the FM dial, and so on and so forth. Now, if I want to turn my stereo off, I simply press down for a delay, and it turns off my stereo and mutes it. This switch over here is designed specifically when you have your stereo on, whatever source you're at, to scroll through either presets up and down on your satellite radio, your FM dial, your AM dial, or when you have a CD playing to change the track. And it's also designed so that you can hit this switch and go through all of your different sources for your Bluetooth, your Pandora, your Spotify, all the different ways that you connect your music, all through the arrow up and arrow down. Now if we come over here to the right, we're going to see our steering wheel buttons designed for your onboard trip computer, which is the arrow up, arrow down, and the enter button. When I push the arrow up, I'm going to see on my screen my onboard trip computer change from current miles per gallon to denoting when I am in eco mode and getting the best gas mileage, how far I can go on the gasoline I have, cruising range, average speed. Anytime you see an average, always hold down on your enter switch for a delay to clear out the memory and get a correct average. Average miles per gallon. After refueling, what your gas mileage has been, and then back to current miles per gallon, always showing below what the outside temperature reading is. Now below your arrow up, arrow down, and your enter switch, you have another button that changes your page from the onboard trip computer to a setup screen. This is where you're going to turn on and off your park sensors and on and off your snow mode. The park sensors are the beepers up front, basically, the little embedded sensors that are going to beep at you when you get too close to something in the front or rear. So when you're at that, you simply hit on or off to turn those on or off. Seeing a light down here with a P and a cone showing you when your park sensors are on. You can arrow down to go to your snow mode. All-wheel drive is full-time, always working, but in snow mode, it will allow you to take off from a stop sign or a stoplight from a complete stop a lot more efficiently, and your tires won't spin out. You can turn that on and off right here. That's all done through this switch right here, toggling from your trip computer to your setup screen for your snow button and your park sensors. Button over here specifically is designed to pick up phone calls and hang up the phone. You can also use this to pull up your phone menu from your screen. And then in the other video, I talk about voice command, which is what this button does, so that you can give the car voice commands and do hands-free operation. Let's move on to your headlights right over here. Alright guys, let's talk about your headlamp switch. So the left stalk, your turn signal stalk, is where you do all your headlamp operations. You have 4 settings that the little dash lines up with that you can go to. The first one is turning off your daytime running lights. It says DRL off. If you ever find yourself in a situation where you don't want your headlights on or your daytime running lights on, that's the one to put it in. The next one up is the one you're going to leave it in most all the time. That's your auto mode. Senses ambient lighting and turns on and off your headlights as it needs to. So at nighttime your headlights come on, daytime they go off. You will always have your daytime running light on, however, for safety. Next switch up is turning on parking lights. If you're pulled over on the side of the road, If you ever find a need to use your parking lights, that's where they're at. And then last, you can turn on nighttime driving lights in the daytime with that last switch up. And from this mode, I can demonstrate how your high beams work. Pull the stock towards you to flash your high beams, and you'll see the blue light by the BSM light illuminate. Push straight in, and your high beams will stay on. That's how to work your headlights. Let's move on to the windshield wiper stock. Okay guys, let's talk about your windshield wiper stock. The right stock travels up and down to operate your wipers. How your wipers are designed to work is pretty easy, but it's definitely worth time covering. If you notice, it says mist, off, auto, low, and high. If I go all the way up, it'll do a mist cycle, meaning a one-time swipe to get that little bit of mist off your windshield that can sometimes happen, but it always resets back to off. Your first setting down is auto mode. In auto mode, it's designed to sense precipitation directly on your glass and regulate your wipers accordingly. Some models have auto and some just have intermittent. So in place of the auto mode would be your intermittent mode. You can change the timing of your auto mode with the inside of the stock right here, going from a more sensitive or less sensitive setting in your auto mode, or faster or slower on your intermittent mode. Travel one time more down for low, and then one more time down for high, and then all the way back up for off. The end of the stock twists as well to turn off and on your rear wiper. In the off mode now, I can travel up to the intermittent mode, go to the on mode, and then if I go one step further, I clean my rear glass. No different than pulling this towards me to clean the front glass. So mist mode, auto, low, high, all the way up's off, and then intermittent and on for your rear. That's your windshield wiper stock. Okay, let's cover your cruise control. Right on the end of the small stock attached to the steering wheel is your on-off that turns on your cruise, and you'll see a little green light right up here that shows you when cruise is on. Not set, but just on. And then if you notice on the stock itself, it has an arrow down that says set. You'd press that to set your cruise. Now if you needed to resume your speed after having to tap the brakes, you'd press up to resume. If you wanted to accelerate, you hold up, decelerate by holding down. You can pull the whole stock towards you to cancel out cruise, not turning off cruise, but simply canceling it. Or you can hit your brake to cancel it. To turn the whole system back off, you just press this switch when you're not using it, and the light goes away. That's how to work your cruise. Those are your steering wheel controls for your 2015 RX350. Thank you so much for listening and learning about your vehicle. Please watch all the other videos. This is Zach with ITeachLexus and Peterson Lexus. Hope you have a great day.